I was asked to talk a little bit today about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. I think first of all, you have to have a passion. You cannot work as hard as you will as an entrepreneur if you're not passionate about what you're doing. It'll involve, a lot of Lebanese have business ideas and come to us for training, but have unrealistic expectations. They think they'll partner with a friend or a family member, start their business, and work hard for a few years, and that's it. They can kick back and relax. When in fact, as an entrepreneur, you'll be working very hard, I think harder than in any other profession, for the span of your career. So you have to be very passionate and love what you do. The second thing, I think you have to be a good leader. You have to lead your team. You'll face many challenges. You have to keep them empowered. You have to keep them motivated and passionate about where you're heading. And you have to set a very clear long-term vision and mission. Even though you're going to start small and you're going to start in Lebanon, it's a small market, so you always have to think ahead of time to where you want to head, why you want to get there, and how you're going to get there, knowing that many challenges will come up, things will not go as you expected. So you have to be this leader that has the vision and that's able to motivate the people that work with you. I also believe that you have to be very honest and base every business decision and your team on values. We just had a very brief conversation with the people from Old City about their team and how long it took to really get the right people together. So as a leader of a company, you have to set clear values. What is it you accept from your customers, from your team? What is it your business stands for and hopes to achieve? And then you have to build your company based on those values. You need to focus. I think generally entrepreneurs are full of ideas. At some point you have to pick one, keep it small to start with, and really focus on building your business based on that idea. And you have to be realistic. You have to do very thorough research because you may think you have a most wonderful idea, but what if there's no market for it? What if there aren't people interested in it? So make sure to get a lot of feedback from your potential clients, to do proper market research, and also to check the competition. And the competition is not somebody who provides the same service you do necessarily. I mean, Starbucks may get competition from other coffee companies, but also from Pepsi or Diet Coke. It's a beverage, and there are many types of beverages out there. So you really have to do proper research on who your competition is, and then find a way to set yourself apart. What is it that you're going to do better? What is it that you're going to do different? Why would people come and use your services or product rather than someone else's? You have to know your limitations. Not everybody has every skill necessary to run a successful business. So as an entrepreneur, if you're not a finance person, then either you need to learn those skills or you have to build your team with people that have those skills. And when it comes to building your team and finding business partners, I caution you to be very, very careful, because partnership problems are one of the main reasons that businesses fail. So don't think because somebody's been your friend throughout college and you enjoy the same things and you share the passion that you're going to be successful as partners. You have to visit your values. Do you believe in the same things? Do you have the same vision for the long term? But you also have to record, who is going to be handling what? What if one person decides in the future that they want out of the business? What if somebody dies? What if somebody gets sick long term? So you have to be very careful in this regard and really talk it over and over again with your partners and record everything legally. Then again, I spoke a little bit about how important it is to make sure that there is a market for it, that you are going to have customers, and the importance of a solid team. I mean, you cannot make it without a good team. You have to be a good communicator towards your team, towards your customers, but also towards your vendors. A lot of entrepreneurs, when we ask them why they want to start their own business, they say it's because they want to be independent. They don't want to work for somebody else, take orders for someone else, but especially the word independence comes up a lot. But you also have to realize that in fact you are going to be more dependent on others. You're going to be dependent on the people who are backing you financially. You're going to be dependent on your customers and also on your suppliers. And it's key to build solid relationships with your suppliers and have very open communication with them. Because, for example, you need a certain product or you need something delivered and there's a shortage. Who are they going to supply first? It's going to be you if you've built that solid foundation and relationship with them. And the same goes for your teams and for your customers. Always be honest, always communicate very clearly what people can or cannot expect. If there's a problem, whether you're not able to make a payment to the bank or you're not able to deliver your product or service, let people know about it ahead of time. Again, when I talk about being thorough and well prepared, you also have to have your identity very clear. So anyone you meet could be a potential customer, could be a potential funder, could be a supplier, could know of potential customers. So always have a clear brand identity, have your materials well developed, and always have things with you. If it's a small product you're selling, have a sample always with you. Have your business cards. Always think about how do I want my clients to perceive my company and be prepared to act on it. Anybody you meet on the street, whether it's in an elevator or in a cafe, could be a potential funder. Again, be ready to give a short introduction about the company you run and you own, and just to raise their interest, and then you can follow up with them later. And when I talk about branding, think also about your online presence. A solid website, maybe a blog, and social media platforms. Another thing we see a lot, we give also something called Growing a Business. So it's a workshop that helps businesses who have growth opportunities but for some reason are not able to grasp them, is that the two most common problems they face is that they don't have systems in place. So when they have that growth opportunity, they're not ready to move on it either because their team is not ready, they don't have the proper suppliers, and similar challenges. So I also recommend that from day one, you start recording all business processes. However simple you do it, but later on it will help you, as you develop your company, as you build your business, you know what kind of team you're going to need initially, but you should also be thinking to the future. If we grow, what other people do I need on board? What other positions do I need to fill? And always keep a lookout. In your spare time, write a job description. Look around you. Who are you meeting? Who do you like? Whose spirit do you like? And who do you think might be able to join your business in the future? So when the time comes, you're ready, you're prepared. What if somebody leaves your business? Again, be always prepared, and this is why you also should record everything, because it helps it easier to transition between employees. The other challenge every growing business faces, especially in Lebanon, is how to recruit and retain good staff. So a strong HR system is very important. Even as a startup, people know that they're going to have to multitask, and maybe somebody will have to make the coffee and help clean the office initially, but you do have to be able to show people, okay, if things go as planned and we grow, how are you going to grow with us? What potential can we offer you for the future? And many times it's not that people are looking for more money, okay, we all like an increase, but it's simple, a pat on the back. Know how to motivate your team, know how to appreciate them, and know how to thank them for jobs well done. I think also as a startup, it's very important that you set yourself apart as a leader in your sector. So you might have a blog or a website where you just give tips. So people start seeing your name, hearing your name more and more often, and eventually will come to you. When you go to a networking event, to a conference, meet with people as much as you can, and also try to help them. Even if there's no direct sale or no direct potential for you to work together, you're leaving an impression on these people. And if you somehow are able to help them, chances are that in the future they'll remember you and they'll think of you and they'll send customers your way. Collaborate, share, and thank the people that help you always. What we see also, or what I see personally in Lebanon, is that as an ecosystem, as a support ecosystem in Lebanon, we're always looking for the entrepreneurs. Whereas in other countries, entrepreneurs are much more aggressive. So if you are interested in starting a business, I would say be very aggressive. There are plenty of support organizations. There are funding options, but you have to be the one who goes after them and looks for them. Ask anybody you meet, ask people, maybe you have a certain business in mind and you have a role model. You know somebody in Lebanon who's done it before you and who's become very successful. Get in touch with them. You would be amazed how much willingness there is by successful entrepreneurs to help those who are just starting out, even in the same sector, and we see many examples of it at the Cisco Entrepreneur Institute. I think one of the most important traits is perseverance. Don't give up. I mean, be realistic and know when, if it's really not working out, when to quit and when to get out. But overall, you have to keep trying. You have to learn from your mistakes and adjust based on what you learn. But don't give up. At the same time, don't be afraid to fail either. Many very successful business owners had multiple failures before they got it right and became successful. So it's not the end of the world if you don't make it. And actually, especially when it comes to investment, investors look for entrepreneurs who've hit the wall before and still have gotten up and tried again, because then they see the qualities and the traits of people who are flexible, who are able to adjust. You might have the most beautiful business plan in the world, but every investor knows that it's never going to work according to plan. They just want to see that you've done your homework, you've given careful thought to how you're going to run your business, but they also want to see that you are flexible enough to adapt in case things go wrong. Again, seek feedback, seek all the support you can, and seek mentors. I think mentorship is key to any entrepreneur, to have somebody that you can talk to, who helps you think, who helps you make decisions, and that involves both your personal life and your work life, because they're so closely related. And also think about maintaining work-life balance, because you're going to be putting all your time and effort into your business. That's fine for the first year, but no one can sustain it in the long run. So always think, what other areas of my life are important, and schedule time for that. Just put it on your calendar. Every day from 9 to 10 I exercise, or I spend time with my family, or you do whatever else you enjoy, because you need that positive energy to be able to continue your work. Managing money is super important. So again, if you don't have financial skills, either learn or have somebody help you, find a team member, because cash flow is key to any business. And on top of that, of course, sales are the most important, because you need to sell to generate the cash flow. So if you're not a natural salesperson, train yourself, find others who are, and really focus on the sales and cash flow management. And those are my most important tips. That's basically it. You're welcome.